It's exciting to see these kids play together. I thought the second half we really came out and, was able to kind of put it back together. I thought Texas State played a great first half, and we had difficult guarding them a little bit, and they hit some big shots. But, you look at the free throws, we were 12 for 14. A lot of little things that we did, I think, helped us to win. But I think the biggest thing is, our defense. We were able to extend our defense in the full court and create some turnovers, which created some easy buckets for us and stuff. So, it's kind of what we, at halftime, that's what we said, our backs against the wall, good. We're right where we want to be. And so they came out and, they're a type of team that just don't quit. It's fun to coach that when you see them, especially when they come together.
If you have a question for the student athletes, raise your hand and we will get a microphone to you.
I just wanted to talk
Speaking to the mic.
I'm sorry, the defense on Levitt. I don't know which one was Gardner, but she was 0 for 2 in the second half after defense. Yeah, she was 0 for 2 in the second half after 21 points in the first half. So was it just a matter of paying more attention to her, shadowing her, or did you guys change up some things?
You're talking about 2, right?
Yes.
We went in halftime and we changed up our game plan because at first we were hedging out on defense, but then we started trapping her on the screen, and that stopped her. So she didn't score the second half.
Question back here.
Simone, take us through the final 4 seconds. What was the play called in the huddle, and how did it kind of transpire to you?
Well, I was open on the post up, gave me the ball, and I knew we had 4 seconds left, so I just scored.
Back here again.
Simone, just for this team to kind of fight, in a 15-point hole, then go on a 21-4 run, I think, to take the lead. What does it say about this team, kind of to Coach Gary's point of just never really feeling like you're out of a game?
Like Coach said, I feel like we play better when our backs are against the wall. We always play hard, but we play harder when our backs are against the wall, and we knew we had to come out with the win, so we got the job done.
And Kimberly, kind of to that point, just what does this kind of win mean for the girls, considering you had this on Saturday, kind of same situation, and this time you're on the other end of it?
It means a lot to us. It just makes us go even harder, every day, because we know we're fighting for something.
Kimberly, I don't think you've been in one of these post-game press conferences this year. It's the conference tournament, and you kept, at one point at the beginning of the fourth quarter, you were leading the team in scoring and getting big rebounds. Just talk about having such a big performance at a big stage.
My main goal is to just go hard every game and, to help my teammates out. And I'm normally the one that's supposed to defend, and then I just look to shoot on offense, but to be able to contribute, that means a lot to my teammates and all of that. So I just feel good about coming out with the win.
Question back here.
Simone, now you get a team that's kind of been a thorn in your side with Little Rock in the semis. What does this game kind of mean? Just they're always kind of the cream of the Sun Belt crop to get a chance to get them for the chance at championship game.
We know they're a pretty good team, and we own one from the conference or whatever, but we know we have to play hard, we have to defend, and yeah.
Question for Simone or Kimberly? Daryl in front.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't start this game. Can you divulge the reason why you didn't start? Or?
I really don't know, but it really doesn't matter to me. I'm fine coming off the bench as long as we come out with the win.
Okay. At first I thought maybe you were ill or something.
Questions for the student athletes? That'll do it, Simone. Kimberly, we will release you at this time to rejoin your teammates. We will continue now with questions for Coach Broadhead. If you have a question, please hold up your hand and we will get the mic to you.
Coach, I just wanted to recap that whole third quarter, that just, how that happened. And
last time we played Texas State, we were able to go under screen and hedge, and it really, really worked out good. And they were smart, and they moved the screen a little bit lower, and so it allowed Levitt, number 2, to get those shots off. And she was set. She made 7 of them in the first half, and a lot of them she got loose. And so right, I mean, we had no choice, but we called tinning, trapping screens, and we just went into trapping to get the ball out of her hands, and it worked. You know, she was never able to score again in the second half, so I thought that was big for us, and we made some big stops and all that. And, you know, our defense is, you know, we switched from that zone defense on the full court. We were zone press, and we went to a man-to-man press, and it was mainly to try to keep number 2, you know, the ball out of her hands. And you know, our kids just, I thought Jasmine Thomas came up big with some steals right underneath the goal to get us some scores to get back in the game, because I think we got down by 11 at one time, and boom, all of a sudden you're down by 5, and that's what we try to do. Our problem is we want to get it all back in one shot, you know, and it doesn't work that way. And sometimes when we're a little bit more patient on offense, we can do a lot better and take our time, even though it takes 5 minutes to you know, to make some kind of, you know, gap, close the gap a little bit, but we just struggle at that. But on the defensive side, we had 110% all the time.
Coach, what you went to that worked against Leavitt, is that what y'all were trying to do in San Marcos that didn't work, or?
Yes, exactly. Yes, we went back to it. You know, we trap a lot of screens. That's that's the number one thing we work on. And then when we came, and it didn't work at all in San Marcos, you know, and it wasn't just that didn't work. We just didn't guard anybody. We were what we call in a 1 between a goal and a man, like the old school. We don't play like that. We get on the line, up the line. We didn't do any of that, but we were trapping, and it didn't work. And so when we came back to our place, we went to hedging out and going under, and it worked beautiful. I mean, I think we kept them almost at single digits in the first half in Lafayette, and then, you know, we said, okay, well, we're going to stick with works, but I was worried about them moving the screen down, you know, that high ball screen. They moved it down into the three-point line, and what she was doing, just standing behind the screen and scoring. And in our switches, we were not going out and guard. So at second half, we just said, hey, you know, we down by 9. We got to get out and get out and get the ball out of our hands. And, you know, it worked out really well for us.
Kind of like I asked Simone, you were pretty much similar situation against UTA. With kind of the last second, was it almost kind of a good thing now you had the ball last? Or take us through those final 4 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not really. I like to be on defense and up by 1. I really do, or by 3. You know, there's a lot of games that we win just being on the defensive side and making a stop. But we run what we call pistons, and the play was specifically. They thought we were going to go to Jay because we were screening Jay. It was specifically to go to Simone. We figured we had 4 seconds. We figured that, you know. They thought we were going to try to back screen, because, I mean, that's the play. And when we went to back screen, Simone's man was behind her. And we figured if Simone caught the ball with her man's behind her, she was either going to get fouled or get a score.
Coach, just wanted to, what do you think will be the key to beating UAL? Or you were close to them on the road and looked like it didn't work so well at home.
Yeah, I mean, they're tough. You know, I watch a lot of their games, and they're just tough to score on. They don't give you easy shots, you know. So you got to make sure that you're real patient on offense, because they don't. You got to attack them, you know. You got to attack them and try to take good shots. But their defense is phenomenal. They got a great defense, and, you know, Coach Foley does such a great job with that team. You know, when I got into the league, that's what I wanted to build our team like, you know, a defensive team like he's built. And, you know, they really are well, you know, they're real coached, and then they're very patient on the offensive side. It's not about scoring for them, even though they are scoring this year. So it'll be difficult, you know. I think they're difficult to press and all that. So, you know, I mean, they really have good guard play, and, you know, it's going to be a difficult game. But, you know, we'll see, you know, maybe the third time's the charm. When we played them there, you know, we lost by 4, and I thought we played really well, but they shot 29 free throws and we shot 7. So, you know, hopefully, it you know, on a neutral floor like that, it gets kind of, and we get a chance to finish it off like we did tonight.
Other thing, why didn't Simone start the game?
You know, just we have all kind of rules.
Okay.
Just rules to follow. And we always teaching. Always teaching.
Midway through the fourth, Troy and Jalen hadn't given you much offensively the whole night, and then you're sitting there with 2 freshmen. Jasmine played huge early, but she's not done as much the second half with the injury. So you had 2 freshmen and Kimberly, who's not really a scorer in double figures, and Jasmine. Just talk about how, in a lot of ways, I thought those 2 freshmen kind of bailed you all out.
Yeah, they did. You know, the thing that's so rewarding to me is you got Kimberly Burton showing up before practice, before anybody ever gets there. You know, we got a couple of coaches there. She's got a ball out. She's working on a shooting. She's working on every aspect. Then she's the last one to leave. Coach Amber will stay with her after. And, you know, she's been fighting through this, and as a freshman, never gave up, you know. And for her to have a game like today, I mean, 11 points and 6 rebounds, to me, I hope it sends a message to everybody on our team that, you know, when you're persistent, and that's my word this year, persistent, when you're persistent at something and you stick with it, good things will happen, you know, and I think it happened for her today. You know, Jasmine Thomas has been banged up. You know, she got a bone bruise in her knee and maybe some meniscus problems and all that, but she wants to play. And she struggled getting to the goal. That's what she likes to do. But, I mean, she's, you know, like she said, Coach, I'm going to find a way, another way. And I thought she stepped up big, you know. And we love our freshmen, you know. They do a good job, as well as everybody else, you know. But, you know, it's a complete team effort, you know. Jay knows, and I'm proud of Jay today. She didn't have the great game she's been having, but usually she kind of tanks it. You know, today she didn't tank it. She found other ways to help us rebound, and she defended really well in the second half. So, you know, those are the exciting things for me is when we can keep playing even though I'm not doing my best, you know. How can I contribute to my team?
Coach Broadhead, thank you for your time. We'll see you in the semifinals.
Thank y'all.
This game was I'm sorry, I'm not used to using this much.
That's fine.
This game was a tough one because to lose back to back on buzzer beaters is just heartbreaking. Anytime you're on the losing end of a buzzer beater, you know, it's heartbreaking for your team because the emotions that run to stay in a tough game, a close game like this are pretty high, and so you kind of get the wind taken out of you. I'll tell you, the game never really, just like the game before at Monroe, didn't really come down to the last second plays that we had there. It really came down to our third quarter in this particular game. We did not do a good job of taking care of the basketball. I was extremely disappointed in our lack of execution coming out of timeouts as to what it was that we needed to do. It took us too long to execute the press offense, and because of that, you know, they were able to turn the ball over some and get to some easy layups. They scored a ton in the paint. I mean, we had a 15-point lead, and then we lost it due to poor decision-making regarding the press, for sure, and then some turnovers that we had as well that came in the half-court setting.
If you have a question for Tasha Levitt, please hold up your hand, and we'll get a microphone. Melissa will get it to you.
Tasha, you've had hot shooting nights before. The first half, was it just, you know, you feeling it, and have you had a performance like that before, even dating back to high school?
Yeah, I mean, like, I was just, like, on fire, I guess. So, like, anytime I was open, I was just thinking, shoot it.
Was there anything you noticed defensively that it seemed like they were really keying in on you defensively, not giving you any space? You know, was there anything else you noticed from their adjustments at the half?
I mean, yeah, at half they was, like, denying me the ball and trying to face guard me, but I should have just done a better job getting open so I could have had the ball more.
Questions for Tasha? Tasha, thank you for your time, and we will let you depart at this time to rejoin your teammates.
Thank you.
We will continue with questions for Coach Antoine.
Coach, UL had a 21-4 run third quarter. You know, at that point, what was the message to your team after, you know, dominating the first half and then coming out, like you mentioned, as slow as they did, letting Lafayette kind of take over?
Well, one, we had to do a better job at taking care of the ball. We did a very poor job at taking care of the ball. We talked about it during the timeouts regarding our press offense execution. The other piece of it was making sure that we did a good job of taking good shots. And you know, the last piece of it on the offensive end, so we didn't put pressure on our defense, but truly it came down to taking care of the ball. And then early in that third quarter, we didn't do a good job with our communication on how we were guarding the ball screen action. And then they found themselves with some very comfortable jumpers. And that frustrated me. And then we also put them the free throw line as well there pretty early, where we didn't do a good job of communicating either on how we're guarding that ball screen action. So, you know, they had opportunities at the free throw line. That gives a team a little bit of confidence, momentum, especially when they've been struggling up to that point. So they slowly started to chip away. If you add the press into that, you know, it was truly a fighting match all the way to the end at that point.
Was there a player you kind of looked to initiate the offense after you noticed that they weren't going to let Tasha kind of get the ball or really have any room?
Yeah, you know, so one of the things we were able to do is attack with Amber Jones. She's really efficient inside. You know, both her and Erica May are good off the bounce as well as forwards. And the other piece of it is getting Taylor Deere kind of going. We need to get Taylor in the game to get her going. You know, Kate struggled scoring a little bit earlier, and so with the insertion of Taylor, I was hoping, you know, she'd be coming off the bench and be able to do what Taylor does, distribute the basketball and create for others as well as herself. And so that's what we tried to do, put the ball, you know, a couple times we tried to put the ball in Taylor's hand to let her create, let Tasha, you know, be able to stand as a two guard, if you will, you know, on the perimeter.
In front.
Coach, how big were their steals on the out-of-bounds passes. I think they stole it twice and converted layups.
Tremendous. It's not even just the points. What happens is just the confidence that a team has. You know, they're able to play another level, especially in fatigue. The adrenaline in postseason play is really like no other. And that brings, you know, a level of confidence and focus in players. So beyond the fact they're able to score off of it, you know, that provide a lot of confidence. The converse is when you're on the receiving end of it is you know how much tougher that's going to be and that you have to focus and do a better job. I think that piece of the disappointment sometimes is tough to get student athletes back into a good place. They're like, hey, all right, let's regroup. Let's go ahead and get back in here and do a better job of distributing the ball.
Kind of playing off what you said about Kate, you know, you kind of had a starting lineup heading into this game, changed it up a little bit. You know, what was your process behind that?
Well, the process for sure with Erica May was that defensively we knew Erica was going to do a good job being able to guard board and wanted to mix it up. And Taylor just honestly found herself in a position where she needed to come off the bench for the team.
Last one for me. You know, you bring a lot back, but next season. But what are you losing in somebody like Aaron Peoples?
And the thing you losing someone like Erin Peoples is she's someone who truly helps, you know, build a program or help set a foundation for what is it you're looking for. You know, the young woman, I know the season didn't end it all the way that she wanted it to, and she came here with a vision to win a championship. And I'm really disappointed, you know, for her as a student athlete that it didn't happen that way due to a number of factors beyond her injury. But the one thing that we can appreciate with a kid like Erin Peoples is all the hard work that she put in through the years, her 4 years as a student athlete, actually 5 years as a student athlete. She was able to obtain a degree. She's working on her post-bac right now. And she helped set quite a few records. And I think that's to be commended, to be honest with you.
In the first half, Tasha looked like she brought the ball up more. I think they were playing like a zone press. Did the man-to-man press take it out of her hands, and if so, why?
Well, the man press did. They did a good job of not allowing her to get the ball back, which makes sense, right? Because she's someone who's able to run offense as well as score for us. But, you know, my thinking is anytime we're able to put the ball in Taylor Deer's hands, or even if it's in Caitlin Waller and People's hands, we're relatively in a good position to be able to run offense. You know, Erin and Caitlin Waller are both veterans for us, and I put a lot of confidence in them knowing what to do in those types of stressful situations.
Questions for Coach Antoine. Coach, thank you for your time. Best wishes to you and your program.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys following us.